We are your home theater and AV questions answered. This is AVRant. Want your home theater or AV question answered by Tom and Rob? Send it to question@avrant.com. Welcome to AVRant. I'm Tom Andry, and I'm here with
Rob H.
All right, Greg. Greg asks, what are our thoughts on LG Super UHD LED LCD TV? I think it needs less letters in its name.
Yes. Yeah, we also had Tara on Twitter who asked very similar questions, so we lumped them together here. But I like their feature set a lot. Unfortunately, their picture quality is not good enough to be able to recommend them. All of these do use those IPS panels.
Yeah.
They also really don't have the best backlighting system. It's uneven, it's splotchy, you get clouding and halos all over the place. I like their feature set. I do not like their picture quality. I can't recommend them. I wish I could, but I can't.
So which 65-inch TV for around $1,000, there can't be more than like two of those, would we recommend most highly for 4K gaming with HDR now that the Xbox One S and PS4 Pro are available? I'm going to guess Vizio probably, because they have all the local dimming that nobody else has. So
that's right.
Yeah. Which one?
Yeah. Vizio M-Series, 65-inch. Right now it's listed at $1,150, but I've actually seen people getting deals where it did hit $999.
What about the less stupid company? Are they
no,
should
because
have
the only good one that LaEco has is that 85-incher. All their other ones are kind of crappy. So, yeah, Vizio, if you want HDR for this kind of price at that kind of screen size, nobody's beating Vizio's M-Series right now. Samsung does have that KU7000 series, which is not bad, but the black levels aren't nearly as good as on these Vizios, and to me that matters more. So there is kind of that alternative in this price range, but I'd go with the Vizio M-Series in a heartbeat on this. Yeah.
Okay. Greg isn't crazy about the tablet remotes with Chromecast built in. Is that the Vizio series that he's talking about with the tablet
That's
remote?
the Vizio. Okay. They got that Chromecast built in. They like that.
He can envision it being less than ideal for his 3 young kids. I'm going to take issue with that, but we'll talk about it in a second. He also uses Amazon Prime Video a lot, which is not supported on Chromecast. So what do we think of the Samsung KS8000 series as an alternative? So he doesn't want the TV because the TV itself doesn't support Amazon Prime. Is that what the problem is here?
Yeah, so with these current
stick?
Vizio, and we shouldn't even call them televisions, they're monitors because they don't have tuners built in. But with these current Vizio M and P series displays, all of the streaming apps and everything are part of Chromecast built in. You control them with a tablet. You can't control them directly on the television at all. You must cast them either from the included tablet or from your phone or your own tablet or whatever. It works with anything that can cast. It can work from your web browser if you want it to. But that's how it gets its streaming services. And of course, Chromecast doesn't work with Amazon Prime Video. Amazon's like, no, we have our own streaming stick. We will not work with you. I get all that. And the KS8000 series are pretty nice TVs, but if you go back to CNET's reviews, and I like CNET, I like David Katzenmeyer's TV reviews the best out of anybody who reviews TVs. I wholeheartedly agree with every conclusion he comes to, so he's my favorite. If you look there, he's like, if you take the Vizio P-Series, the Samsung KS8000 series, and the Sony XBR X930D series, he's like, the Sony has a couple of advantages. So the Sony can get brighter and it has wider color. The Vizio has like the best black levels, the best contrast. He actually rates the Vizio P-Series the highest out of these. The KS8000 series, he's like, it's still a nice TV all on its own, but it brings up the rear. It doesn't have quite as good black levels. It has more blooming. It's still very bright. It still has really nice colors. But he's like, he likes the Sony X930D series a little bit better and the Vizio P series even a slightly bit more than that. So my alternative based on that would be the Sony series. Of course, the Sony X930D series is a little bit more expensive than those other guys as well. So the KS8000 series, I'm not going to say you're getting a bad TV, not at all. You're getting a really nice TV. I don't think it's the optimal choice, but when you're limiting yourself to the price point, then yeah, it comes into play. So I'll just say it's the third choice, but the price could possibly make it the second choice.
I want to go back to the tablet and there's three young kids. Let me tell you something about my three kids, because I got three of them. They can figure out a tablet faster than you can unwrap it, take it out of the box. Like by the time that you have taken it out of the box and put on the stuff, whatever protective things that you're going to do because you have kids. 'Cause that's what I do. I got buy a nice case for everything, so if not, they break it. And by the time if you time that, then time me handing it to them and them figuring out how to make the TV work, they would spend less time than you would. And I don't care if they're 3 years old. I don't care if they're, 7 years old. It doesn't matter. Well, they're going to figure it out.
He did mention he's a little bit worried about breakage. He's a little bit worried about them damaging the tablet. That's one side of things.
Yeah, the tablet.
And then he was a little bit concerned.
My son just dropped his phone.
Some people were saying the connection isn't great.
Well, that I can kind of get behind. But my son just broke his phone, like just dropped his phone right on the edge and doesn't have a great case with it. And it just, it's spiderwebbed across it. He didn't care. He still uses it. It works fine. I was playing Angry Birds on it the other day. I'm like, are you serious? That thing, I mean, how do you even see? He goes, I can see fine. I'm like, first of all, it's a tiny phone. You can't see anything. I got this big, Nexus 6. It's like a mini tablet. And I'm like, I don't even know how you can see anything on the thing. But he's playing that. Believe me. But get yourself a decent case and do a little research. Like look to see what OtterBox is selling. And then if you can't find something that looks like an OtterBox that has the rubber on the inside and a nice hard shell on the outside to make sure that it's going to keep everything nice and if you have a hard time, if you have an easy time getting it in and out of the case, you do bought a crappy case. It should be a pain to get it in and out. That's how you know it's secure and well protected. So that's my suggestion. Just get the
one. For the Amazon side of things, if you do happen to end up going with the Vizios,
stick.
The solution there is to get an Amazon Fire Stick. Yeah, I mean that is it's an inconvenience. You have to switch inputs and go to a different device and all that. I understand that.
Get a Harmony remote.
I say
so these things don't work. They don't have IR at all. They don't have IR at all.
They do. They come with remote. They work with Harmony. They come with a little remote, a very basic remote that's just channel up, channel down, on, off, input, select. That's all it does. But it has that much. So
let me tell you something about my kids. Okay, I have a 7, 10, and 13. My 7-year-old, my 10-year-old were in here the other day watching TV, right? And every once in a while, it never happens to me, but it always happens to my wife and kids. Excuse me. The remote will lose connection. All you have to do is press help, and it just kind of flicks everything, and then everything's fixed, right? Every once in a while it loses connection, right? I have hidden them. They have found all the remotes and have turned everything on and are controlling stuff with the Xbox controller. They're fine. Took them 3 minutes to figure that out. Believe me, they can figure out that tablet.
All right. So I would just say, if I could afford it, I would get an LG OLED. All right, that would be my first choice. If I couldn't afford that, I would get a Vizio P-Series. All right. If I couldn't afford that, let's say I could afford even more, and for some reason I didn't want the Vizio, I would get the Sony. All right. After the Sony, I would probably get a Vizio M-Series, because those still look better than the Samsung KS8000 Series in the black levels.
Right.
In the black levels only. But to me, black levels are really important. So I would put the Samsung KS8000 Series at the bottom of my list, but that's not saying it's a bad TV, particularly if you're not watching in a black hole of a room. If you're watching in a room with a fair amount of ambient light, you're not really going to notice that the black levels aren't super deep. The little bit of haloing bugs me, but yeah, that would be my ranking. So.
All right. Want your question answered? Send it to question@avrant.com. This is AVRant.
Now go out and listen to something.